Hi you guys, and happy Video Monday. Last week I posted a picture of myself and my girlfriend in a New York City bar, and in the photo I was drinking a cup of tea. Now the statement I was trying to make through this picture was regarding the importance of coming into alignment with what is right for you, the choices that feel right for you, and then releasing the resistance around them and just allowing yourself to be perhaps a little bit different, or to walk, so to speak, that road, less traveled, to be the minority, perhaps. Somebody, Johan, commented below the photo and asked, what is my secret to basically handling the social challenges that can arise from walking a path that is perhaps not the norm? And they are many. The challenges are many, and they will come up along the journey for sure. When I first made the transition to being vegetarian, vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free, I always was met with resistance from people. People thought that, I was going through a phase, or maybe I had an eating disorder, or there was something, off about what I was doing, or it wasn't healthy. I wasn't going to be getting my calcium or my protein or whatever. And the main thing you have to do is separate, right, yourself from what you're hearing, and recognize that what you put in your body, what you choose to put in your mouth, has no effect on anybody else. And this is not about being morally superior. The best thing about life is that we all get to make the choice that is right for us. So come into alignment with what your truth is. What feels right for you? What does your body say to you? This is so important to honor, and the only person that really has to accept that is you, and then everybody else will actually start to as well. But as long as you're still holding resistance to being different in that way, as long as you're continuing to justify, for example, your path to other people, that resistance will be there. But once you stop that, there's flow and ease, and it doesn't have to be a big deal at all. So when I think of my own journey with regards to this, when I first made this transition, I remember I was especially met with quite a bit of resistance from my family. And this happens for a lot of people. I've worked with a lot of my clients around this issue because their families obviously are worried about them. They love them. They're the closest people in the world to you, generally, your family. And they want to make sure that what you're doing is safe. So first, recognize that that's coming from a loving place. But at the same time, don't sit there, I would recommend not lecturing your family, not being like, you should do this too, that kind of thing. Instead, just say, I'm doing this because it feels good for me, and I'm quite happy about it, and I'm excited about it. And, those kinds of things just really reinforce that you're happy about your decision, and that will disarm them. If you sit there and you're like, I want to show you this because I think you should do this too, if you start forcing it on them, they're going to run the other way, and there's going to be that resistance. You're going to feel that energy. Basically what I did is I just lived it. I talked about it as little as I possibly could. When I went to family dinners and stuff, I would just, do my thing. I would often bring some of my own food as well. I would make a big salad, something that I knew, and I would have little bits of what else was there too. But for the most part, I just did my thing, and I didn't offer explanation. If someone asked me a question about it, I would answer the question, but not in a way that was, again, more like morally superior. Not in a way like I had it figured out and they didn't know. It's not about that. It's about, this is what I feel is the best thing for me, and that's it. So that's the number one thing I would say. Don't justify what you're doing to people. Don't explain unless they ask. Don't try to force the information on them. Live it. Be it. Allow it to fill you with light, and allow your glow to start to really come out, which will happen naturally from becoming healthier, from from moving your way up, so to speak, the continuum of health. We're all on this ladder, working our way towards greater and greater health. And as you start to climb that ladder, you'll just start to glow and vibrate. And then the really cool thing that happens is people will come to you and ask you, well, what are you doing? And what do you think about this? But that won't happen if you're constantly in this dialogue about it. So just live it. Just live it and be it. For a long time, when I would go to bars, I would let go, of my aversion that I have. I have a strong aversion to alcohol. I don't feel good when I drink it. I feel resistance as I'm doing it. It feels like I'm in contradiction with my beliefs. It creates this dissonance that just feels terrible for me. But for so long, I felt like I should just be like everybody else, and when I go to a bar, I should just let go of it and relax a little bit and have a drink. But every time I found I wasn't enjoying myself there, I actually was feeling anxious because of that dissonance that I was experiencing. I just felt like I was going against my truth, and then the next day I would feel terrible, because actually the healthier you become, the less tolerant your body becomes to things like alcohol, which is essentially, I'm sorry to say, but a poison. It doesn't become more tolerant, it becomes less. So I would feel terrible. So it just never was a good scene for me. And one day I woke up and I thought, oh my gosh, I can just be a non-drinker. And it was like a huge moment for me, and I felt free in that moment. And now I don't drink. I might not ever drink again. I'm not sure. If I feel like I really want, sometimes I enjoy a little bit of red wine. Cool. I'll enjoy that. I have a few sips. But for the most part, I don't miss it. I don't desire it. So why am I going to sit there and drink just because everyone else does? So the other thing I want to reflect to you is that an interesting thing happens, or my experience has been quite interesting, and it's that people are intrigued by it. I was in that bar that night, and I can't tell you how many guys were kind of falling in love with me there from my reaction. They were like, can I buy you a drink? Can I buy you a drink? Can I buy you a drink? And I was like, I don't drink. And they were just like, huh? And they weren't like, this girl's a freak. I'm going to go over here now. It was actually the opposite. I think they found it incredibly intriguing. And I think they found it attractive that I have my own mind and that I'm not necessarily going to just do what the crowd is doing. So don't feel necessarily like you're going to be isolated and, shunned from society. It might surprise you. Come into alignment with your truth. And I promise you, if you can get to a place where you accept it and celebrate it, you will glow. Other people will start to want to learn from you, and there won't be that resistance anymore. I promise. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. See you soon.